Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. It's not quite 7 in the morning, and I finally got out here earlier today, and I am tying up cucumbers, and I moved the leaves aside, and look what I found. A little nest of pickling cucumbers, which is so exciting. So that's why I really want to push to get these cucumbers tied up so that I can see what fruit I have and when I have to harvest them instead of letting them get too big. This will just eat, and that one. This is pushing it, but I want the small size to be able to pickle them. Anyway, welcome back. I've made quite a bit of progress reclaiming this area here where the cucumbers are growing up the cattle panels. The pumpkins are here, and if you don't train them, they will just cover everything. And I'm glad they're healthy, but I also see some leaves down in there I need to take care of. So I'm hoping to restore some order to this big pumpkin patch. It's just crazy. I don't like it when it gets out of control, and it desperately needs water. So I'll be focusing on the water too, like I'm deep watering this little corn patch here. So this is how it looked before. Absolutely no control, and hopefully I can restore some sort of control and some paths. I don't know if you can see it, but there are some white flowers. I'm not even sure what pumpkin or gourd is growing there. My daughter's growing it, and as you can see, we've lost control here. You know, that locomotive charging downhill and all that. So this is where I'm working today. My husband's continuing to work over here in the tomato patch and getting the beautiful bark mulch down in between the rows. It's looking a lot better. Then we just have to weed eat the grass in between. Things are growing, things are changing, and the season is just marching on. This looks better to have the pumpkins cut back so you can at least walk through here and have the cucumbers tied up. Give these little cucumbers that did not germinate at first, and I replanted them several different times, give them a chance to have some sunlight, some water, air, and nutrition, everything they need, and get these guys climbing up where they're supposed to climb. And just from those 2-3 plants down there, it's called pick-a-bush pickling cucumbers, and I believe it's the Burpee brand, but don't quote me on that one. I'd have to go and look it up. So it's time to get these guys under control and get them away from my tomatoes, because I'm sorry folks, but tomatoes come first. Yeah. So this is a Big Mac's pumpkin, and it's standing up to its name. It's just going crazy, but this is okay to have it run down the pathway, because that's what I intended, that's what I wanted, for them to go down the pathway. I'll just have to cut back some leaves. Look at the size of the leaves compared to my hand. They look happy, but they're a bit of a pain. You just have to keep things under control. Easier said than done. This is an evergreen tomato. I believe it's the first year I've grown it, maybe the second, but it was quite a while ago. And I've got this one tied up and pruned a bit. And this one is a Rutgers. And I can't see the tag for this one, but it's next. So let's get her done. I was curious if anybody uses their weeds that they pull up, or even their pumpkin vines that they've cut off to trim and get out of the way. Do you ever use them to put down in the pathways or around your plants to use as mulch, or are you afraid of disease? Now here in central Idaho, it is very hot and dry, so I don't think it would be quite as much as a problem, but I just was curious and I wanted to take some opinion before I started that endeavor. So this tomato is a before. You see all of its wildness. So it's going to be trimmed off and tied up, and this is how it looks after. It looks so much better, even though the paths are all grassy and yucky. But we've trimmed back the pumpkins and tied up the cucumbers, and things are looking better. More airflow, more chance of sunlight and nutrition getting to the plants. So I think it's looking a lot better. My daughter came out to help me tie up tomatoes, and we're working here together. Many hands make light work. So we're working. Things are looking a lot better. This row is done. Time to move over there to that cattle panel and start that one. Big job ahead of me. At least I have my helper down there. What a mess. This is what happens when you don't get out to tie up your tomatoes. Because they are vining in nature, they like to, well, the weight of them makes them flop over, and then they go set their roots in the ground as they vine along. So I've got to be careful with this. I've got a nice tomato set right there. And I'll be taking off probably at least 3 or 4 liters. So let's get it cleaned up. So this is what it ended up looking like. I picked 3, I allowed 3 liters because this one was growing right here, it had some flowers. I usually just only allow 2. This is the best I could tie this up without breaking this if I try to bend it. So I took off so much. Now it has airflow, sunshine is getting in, and it'll have less competition for nutrition. This is a German pink tomato. Sorry about the shadow, but that's where I am, and it's the time of day. Well, we finished with the 2 cattle panels out here by the raspberries. We have this one right here. My daughter got all trimmed up and tied up. Looks wonderful. And we have this one right here, all trimmed up and tied up. The pathways are nothing but grass, but we'll be working on them. I think things are coming along. They come along whether you're ready for them to come along or not. That speeding locomotive and all that. The raspberries are done, but new ones are growing nice and healthy. So we'll try to get those trimmed down and tied up. Lots to do, lots to work on. It's a very busy time of year, and this is kind of the middle part. We got a cat that's being a parrot today. She's such a goofy girl. This is the middle time in between a huge harvest starting to come in, so you have to keep it watered, weeded, tied up, keep an eye on things. So that's what we're doing. What are you doing in your gardens? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for stopping in today. Thanks for being supportive. Thanks for subscribing and liking and sharing. Your support means a great deal to us. You have a great day and do it joyfully. And we'll talk to you next time. I don't know if you can see the smoky haze, but we can actually smell it, and it's kind of bothering my lungs. There are fires in several different places, I think even locally up in the mountains, which is always a worry. This is a very tough month and into August and part of September because of the fires. They've burned up a lot of ground and a lot of timber. We have fertilized and weeded and watered, tied up and pruned. It's 12 o'clock, just after 12, and it's time to go in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Come back and see us again soon. Have a great day. This is my mom's golden glow. It came from the flowers that still grow by her house. My younger sister now owns that. But I just wanted to show you how beautiful they are, and I hope she's enjoying them. Aren't they lovely? I love you, Mama.